Hello guys, once again welcome back to another Android app development tutorial. In the last video we learned about how to display a contextual action bar with the ListView. So in this video here I am going to show you how to add a checkbox into the ListView so that the user can make selection using the checkboxes. So here we have an Android Studio project that contain a ListView. So here the ListView displays some fruit names. So I run the project. So here we have a simple list view that displays some fruit names. Okay, so this is our list adapter. So the first thing I'm going to add a checkbox to the custom layout of the list view. So now this is the custom layout for the list view that contain a simple text view that to display the fruit names. So here I am going to place a checkbox for the checkbox so that when the contextual action bar appear, the user can select items using this checkbox. So here I place the checkbox with ID checkbox. So when the contextual action bar appear, user can make selection using this checkbox. So here the ID is checkbox. So first I'm going to remove this checkbox from the layout by using the visibility into gone. So we need to display the checkbox when user enter into the contextual action mode. Okay, so this is the custom layout. So first thing we can display the checkbox. So first we can enable the contextual action mode. So implement the listener, multi-choice mode listener. So first we can inflate the menu for the contextual action mode. So here we have a menu that contains two items, delete and share option. So first we can inflate the menu. So we can inflate the menu from the onCreateAction mode method. Create some variables for menu inflator. Mode.getMenuInflator. Now inflate the menu. And return true from this method. So now specify some parameters for the list view. So list view dot set choice mode into choice mode multiple model. Now set the multi-choice mode listener into the mode listener. So now we can test the project. So I run the project. So when make a long click, the contextual action bar appear. So now we need to display the checkbox when user enter into the contextual action mode. For that, here first I'm going to create some boolean variable. So public static boolean is action mode into false. So when user enter into the contextual action mode, set the value into true, and when user leave the contextual action mode, set that one into false. Now go to the list adapter. Inside the getView method, check some condition. First initialize the checkbox. row.findView by ID r.id checkbox. Now check some condition. If main_activity.isActionMode is true, in that case we have to display the checkbox. So checkbox.set visibility into visible. Otherwise that means user exit the contextual action mode. In that case we have to hide the checkbox. Now run the project. So now when user enter the contextual action mode, each item associated with the checkbox so that the user can make selection using the checkbox. Okay, so now we can perform the delete operation. We'll go to main activity, create some variables, public static list, user selection. Now create another variable called action mode. Initialize that one with a null. Okay, now from the onCreateAction mode, initialize the variable action mode. Okay, so when user leave the action mode, specify action mode into null and clear the user selection list. Now go to the list adapter. So checkbox dot set checked change listener. So when user make a selection, we have to save the selection. So we have to identify which checkbox is selected by the user. For that, here we set a tag on the checkbox and set tag into position so that we can identify which position of checkbox is selected by the user. So from the onChecked change listener, we can get the position by calling the getTag method on the button view parameter. Now we can add or remove the user selection. So if user selection contain that particular item, in that case we have to remove that item from the user selection list. Otherwise, we have to add the selected item into the list, user selection list. Okay, so now we can display a title on the contextual action bar by using the action mode object. So set a title. So get the size of the user selection, and this much of item is selected. Okay, so now we can test it. So run the project again. So when I select an item, that particular number is displayed on the action bar. So when I remove the item, the counter is decreased. Okay, so it's working fine. So now we can perform the delete operation. So when user makes selection, when they click the delete button, we have to delete the selected items. That is the next step. So for delete items from the list, here I create another method called remove items with one parameter, that is the user selection list. Now remove each item from the list using a for each loop. After that, call the notify dataset changed method so that the list view will get updated. Okay. So when user select the delete button, we have to perform the delete operation. So here I use a switch case statement to identify which option is selected by the user and call the remove item on the adapter. After that, we have to dismiss the action mode using finish method and return true. And now we can handle the default case. In that case, we have to return false. Okay, so now we can test it. So run the project. So here I made some selection and click the delete button. Now make some other selection. Now remove an item. Now try to delete. Okay, it's working fine.